Lee really has the most amazing fans. A couple months ago, we were in Vegas, 5 a.m. on the Vegas Strip, and some guy just comes belting toward us. He's like, hey man, the cops are chasing me. He's like, I gotta hide with your group. And we're like, all right, dude. He was like, I was handing out porn flyers for the strip club inside the casino. We're like, all right. And he's like, Lee Camp? And Lee was just like, these are my people. He's like, these are my people. He really has the greatest fans in the world. Please welcome my dear friend, Lee Camp!
Hi! How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, you're fucking incredible! Yes! I regret to inform you there will be no Russians tonight. They had to cancel, they did. It's just little old me tonight. I'm all you get. Just a boy from Richmond, Virginia, the capital of the Confederacy. I'm descended from George Washington. We have some of George Washington's stuff in our house. I'm also descended from and named after Robert E. Lee. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I'm descended from Walter Camp, the guy who invented American football, all right? So you cannot be more American than me if you were a bald eagle wearing a strap-on, fucking Uncle Sam, and he's like face down in a pile of deep-fried Oreos, all right? But in these times we now live, I'm a foreign agent. I'm a foreign agent because I want to actually repair this country, actually get people to care about this shit. You know, I grew up mainly in Richmond, Virginia, which one of the main things in Richmond, Virginia, to this day, they haven't changed anything, is Monument Avenue with all the Confederate soldiers on horseback, massive monuments. And while I lived there, back when I was a kid, they had a big fight in the city as to whether to add another Richmond native, the famous black tennis player Arthur Ashe. It was a big fight whether to add him to Monument Avenue, and finally, Progress won. And they added Arthur Ashe with his tennis racket. So now, to this day, Monument Avenue is like 10 Confederate generals on horseback chasing Arthur Ashe. I feel like that symbolizes a lot of what we're going through right now. Oh, God. Why is it all the white supremacists are like the physical worst representation of a master race you could ever imagine? It's like Steve Bannon and Donald Trump, and there's just pieces of flesh hanging off to them. They're like, we're the master race. Blah. You're like, dude, there's something growing out of your neck folds. Blah. We're the superior genetics. Like, oh, God, you're like Edgar from Men in Black, the flesh suit over the cockroach. Nobody would fuck you blindfolded. Are you serious? I'm not even racist, but just as a white guy, can we get something better in there? God damn it. Somebody who can run 12 feet without passing out winded, something. Yes, and it goes without saying that Trump is a fucking catastrophe. He's got his head so far up his ass. He's getting to fracking levels, all right? I live in D.C. There's minor earthquakes all day long from Trump's head up his ass. There is. He's a catastrophe, but here's the thing. I'm going to say his name probably 1 to 2 more times throughout this hour. And the reason is because he's a fucking symptom. He's not the cause of our problems, all right? He's a symptom. He's a visual representation of how fucked up shit has gotten. He's just a boil that has risen up, and now we can all see it. And the mask has come off, and we're like, oh, there it is. Oh, I didn't know how bad it got until I saw that thing. But he's not the cause. And we have the resistance, the faux resistance, the Mick resistance, the corporate Dems and the mainstream media, and they're like, we're the resistance! Oh, really? You're gonna stop the big banks from exploiting all of us? Well, no, not on the big banks, no. We're the resistance! Oh, you're gonna stand up to big pharma so that people can fucking afford their medication? No, not on pharma. But otherwise, we're the resistance! Oh, you're gonna stand up against private prisons and the fact that we're imprisoning everybody in this goddamn country? Well, no, not on that. But we're the resistance! Oh, you're gonna stop the wars around the world that are killing innocent civilians? Well, no, not on that. Well, then what the fuck are you resisting? What are you resisting? And they're like, well, we're opposed to porn star hush money, I guess. Really not into that. Fucking resistance. And our media, you know, they have criticized Trump endlessly, every day, endlessly. Some of it fucking justified, some of it not, but criticized him endlessly. But the one thing they celebrated him for, they were like, he's presidential now, is when he started bombing Syria. When he started releasing bombs out into the world, they were like, yes, that's our guy. I didn't even, this last time when he started bombing Syria, I didn't know what had happened. I came home, I flipped on CNN, and they were all so fucking happy. They're just like sitting there smiling, the Getty, they got quinceañera dresses on, they were fucking celebrating. And for a minute, I was like, did Malaysian Flight 370 land? Did it just come into Heathrow Airport? And people came wandering off like, oh my God, that was crazy. We just kept circling. We ran out of snacks like 6 months ago. They were fucking thrilled. And even when they're having a so-called debate on war, on our infinite bombing, even when it's a debate, even the way they couch things, the terminology they use is designed to manipulate you. It's designed to make you think a certain way. So like they'll have a panel, right? And they'll have one guy who's like, I don't know if we should be bombing Syria right now. And then they'll have three guys, and one woman who say, we have to bomb Syria right now. And even though it's a debate, they keep saying terms like advanced weaponry or advanced weaponry. It's not fucking advanced to bomb, it's barbaric, all right? And that makes you think a certain way, our advanced weapon. That's like if you saw two guys playing pool and one of them took the stick and then just broke it over the other guy's back, and you were like, that was a really advanced move. That was pretty impressive there. I never would have thought of that. I've been playing pool for years. Advanced weaponry. The 90% of drone bombings hit secondary targets. Oh, what are secondary targets? Is that like you're gonna hit the terrorist and maybe take out his headquarters too? Is that the secondary? No, secondary target means innocent civilians. All right, that's a fucking secondary target. But it's not, because unless you target something, it's not any kind of target. All right, and plus all these fucking people were supposedly fighting over there, no matter which country. We fucking created them and funded them and propped them up, whether it's Al-Qaeda back in the 80s, or we helped create ISIS. ISIS is using our weapons now. Al-Nusra, fucking, we helped Saddam Hussein until we didn't anymore, and Gaddafi until we didn't anymore. It's like we're playing whack-a-mole over there, except no one mentions it's our own arm. We're like, oh my God, there they are. Oh my God, there they are. Oh my God, there they are. Oh, they're fucking everywhere. Yeah, they're using our weapons. But that was the one thing. Donald Trump was presidential. But here's the thing. Here's the positive side of this. People are waking up. They're not buying it anymore. They're not buying this propaganda anymore. Most of this country is against our wars, our bombing. Most of this country knows the corporate media is full of shit and that their main purpose is to prop up our war games and our 1,000 military bases around the world. Most people get that. And if you look at a lot of some of the smaller issues, they've changed like overnight, relatively speaking, over like 10 years, 20 years. Like that's incredible. 20 years ago, like gay marriage and marijuana, right? Most of America supports legalizing marijuana now. Most of America supports gay marriage now. That changed quickly. Like when I was a kid, you know, people were like, oh my God, marijuana rots your brain and it turns your kids into zombies who'll try and eat you in your sleep. Right? And gay marriage rots your brains and turns your kids into zombies who will try and blow you in your sleep. You gotta be ready for them. But that's changed, and it's changed quickly because people are waking up. And when people wake up from the bullshit, they can be directed in different ways. So there is a lot of idiot anger out there against, you know, immigrants or Muslims or whatever it is, but the waking up process isn't easy, you know? It's not easy, it's hard. And now it's the job of the corporate media and the corporate Democrats and the corporate Republicans to try and get us all dumbed down again, to get us all back in the box, to fucking shut it all down. That's the job right now. And that's why they're gutting net neutrality. That's why they're suppressing voices like Jimmy Dore and Abby Martin. That's why they have to, because they have to shut it all down. And every once in a while, I'll see one of these like news stories that's designed to just get everybody back to what they were doing 10 years ago. And when it's really good bullshit, I don't know about you, I get excited. I just like it. I don't know, it's masochistic or something, but I saw one the other day. Was one of the main 3 news channels, and the title of the article was "The 14 Healthiest Items at Your Local Fast Food Restaurant." I was like, oh, this is gonna be some good bullshit. This is gonna be good. I was like, what the fuck is on that list? Like, number 8, the napkins. Like what? What? Just start munching on a table if you're really looking for something healthy. So I started reading it, and they interviewed a nutritionist, which they got their degree at a clown college or something. And even then, the dean of the clown college was like, I don't know about this. This is a nutritionist? And the nutritionist goes, for one of them, you know, number 7, if you're looking for a burger at your local fast food restaurant, the healthiest way to go is McDonald's McDouble. All right, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say, yes, the McDonald's McDouble is the healthiest burger at a fast food restaurant. Isn't that like saying if you're going skydiving and you pull the chute and nothing happens, at that point, the healthiest choice is to try and hit a car rather than hit the ground directly. Much healthier to go for a parked car. McDonald's McDouble. I haven't eaten fast food or especially McDonald's in 20 years or something, but I grew up on it. I did. To this day, I'm like 80% McNugget. It doesn't go away. Doesn't go away. I think next week I'm passing my last McNugget. It's very exciting. I'm gonna have a little party, streamers. It's gonna be a good time. And as I recall, the least healthy thing you could do at a McDonald's is ask for extra tomato slices. Because the minimum wage employee working there who gets half his wages stolen through wage theft is likely to stab you. All right? Very not healthy to get stabbed because he's gonna be like, what the fuck do you think goes on back here? You think we have chefs chopping up tomatoes for you right here, just delivering farm fresh tomatoes? No, this thing comes as a unit, all right? This burger has seen the world together. It was in Bangladesh, and then Guam, and then it fell into the San Francisco Bay, and a seal took a bite out of it, and then we brushed it off, put it back on the boat, and now we've thawed it out for you. There's no fucking tomatoes back here. I remember. You ever try and take the pickle off of the cheeseburger? There's an indentation from where it's lived for years. All right? It's like trying to pry the baby skeleton from the mother's arms at Pompeii, all right? Too soon, yeah? Don't worry, I don't think any of the survivors are here. You're gonna be all right. So they gotta dumb us down. They have to get us back to eating fast food and all this shit. Like, look, here's the thing. I'm fine. If you wanna eat fast food, fucking eat fast food. But don't lie to us. Don't tell us it's healthy. It should just say on the front of McDonald's, looking to blow up your toilet tonight? And you're like, yeah. Yes, I am, good sir. Don't lie to us. You know, I have vices. It's a vice. I have vices. I fucking love whiskey. But I don't go into the liquor store and like expect them to be like, hey, you want some extra B12 in your whiskey? This is the one. This is very healthy, this one. Yes. Gets the room spinning with some extra energy. Don't lie to us. So, you know, that's a lie. Fast food's healthy. But a bigger lie, there's kind of these small lies and bigger lies throughout society, you know? And the bigger lie about McDonald's and these hamburgers is if you were to account for everything that goes into making a McDonald's hamburger, they've done studies, and if you accounted for the raising of the cow and all the food the cow eats and the water and the pollution and everything, your average hamburger should cost $200. Really should, $200. And instead we get it for $1 because they're lying to us, and that lie is destroying our future. It's destroying our planet. It's destroying our way of life. McDonald's is healthy. Yeah, why do you think the burgers don't decompose? Do you ever ask that? You ever seen those studies when they leave out a homemade hamburger next to a McDonald's hamburger? And the homemade one 3 months later is covered in mold and all sorts of crap on it, growing on it, you know, and the McDonald's looks exactly the same. Nothing's changed. Because microorganisms and bacteria are like, I ain't eating that shit. I don't know what that is. I ain't getting near that, all right? Give me a big ripe dog turd in the front yard. I will eat that in a second, all right? I would love that. Cook that up right now. But I ain't getting, that's furniture. I ain't getting near that thing. I don't know what that is. Long after we're gone, long after the human race is gone, so like 10, 15 years from now, whatever alien race or whatever comes down and analyzes the situation and tries to figure out what happened to us, they're gonna be like, well, they were dumber than bacteria, so. Are we that surprised? Well, yeah, the big lies and the little lie. We're being lied to in so many ways. And here's the reason the little lies are important is because it makes people question everything. It makes them open up their minds. All you have to do is point out some small things that we're being lied to on a mass scale. And our social engineering has told us to believe this shit. And you point that out, and then people go, wait, if they're lying about that, what else are they lying about? You know, things like expiration dates on food. They don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. They don't. There's like 3 foods where it actually matters, all right? It's like, you know, unpasteurized cheese, open deli meats, and I don't know, Norwegian ass. I don't know what the third one is, but most of them mean nothing. And yet we throw out 40% of all our food. You can't donate it to homeless shelters because it's beyond the expiration date, the imaginary date on it. Some of them say best if enjoyed by. The fuck does that mean? It should say diarrhea if enjoyed after. Like, all right. Now I can plan my evening. It's a diarrhea night or not a diarrhea night? I was best have enjoyed by 32, but I'm still here. I'm doing all right. Haven't made too many people sick. We're being lied to in so many ways. You know, diamonds aren't rare. Some of you know that. They're not rare. De Beers bought them all up, and now they hand them out a little bit at a time. And think about the social engineering it took to get our entire society to be like, oh, diamonds? Took endless ads. They had to sit us down with little kids and go, hey, if you ever want a woman to love you, you gotta get this shiny rock, or she doesn't give a shit. Not at all. And if you still want something special at the engagement, all right, fine. You know, I think when you get engaged, you should have to give the other person a T-shirt that says free mustache rides. There you go, special. And that T-shirt is more rare than diamonds, all right? Provably more rare than diamonds. Literally. And if you're here right now and you're married and you have a diamond ring you really love and it means a lot to you, I'm not trying to take that away from you. I really am not. I think that's great. I just want you to know it's worthless. That's all. Yeah, though we're being lied to. You know, elevator door close buttons don't do anything. They don't. Like 80% of them are not even hooked up. Because elevators are computers now, and they're like, yeah, we fucking got it. We know how this works, all right? But they leave the button there. The companies leave the button there because otherwise we lose our minds, all right? We're like, the doors will never close! Who do we eat first? You know? Because we just love the illusion of control. We are suckers for the illusion of control. We are. If it's just the illusion of control, I say put in a steering wheel. I would love a steering wheel in the elevator. I hate awkward conversations, so I'd rather be like, where you headed? All right, I got this. Let's go. No, don't tell me about the weather. Fuck the weather. I'm steering here. You cannot talk to the driver. Shut up. Shut up. We love the illusion of control, hence voting. No, I actually believe in voting. I just think we have to vote in such numbers we swamp what's stolen. We just fucking flood it all. That's the only way that we can win this. I mean, it is amazing. It is tremendous. And again, this is the same social engineering problem. That how much mainstream media, corporate media, did it take to never mention that, to act like our computer voting machines are not a problem for us to accept that shit. You cannot see in the machines. You can't see the code, the proprietary code owned by corporations. And they're like, oh, we can't show it to you. You have no idea whether your vote is actually counting. And most of our country is fine with that? Are you fucking kidding me? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if the last 10 minutes of the Super Bowl, they turned off all the cameras, sent everyone home, and finished the game? And then at the very end, just a ref came on TV and said, Patriots won. This country would be on fire. We would lose our minds. It'd be like an angry Mardi Gras, just like furious tits flapping down the street. It'd be like Armageddon. But instead, it's just our presidential election and all of the elections. So it's fine. Fuck the Super Bowl if it were a Little League game. There would be refs' heads on sticks, all right? It's amazing, but we are being lied to in so many ways, big and small, and you got to point the small ones out so people start questioning things. You know, like why are the Mario Brothers named the Mario Brothers if it's Mario and Luigi, right? What the fuck's their last name? And don't tell me Mario, and Luigi Mario. Shut your fucking face. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, and the Smothers Brothers are Dick Smothers and Smothers. We are being lied to. At least they finally changed this one. Until like 10 years ago or something, like fairly recently, a lot of strawberry flavoring came from a beaver's anal gland. Seriously, I don't know how you find that out. I don't know what. It's like an intern in a basement somewhere. It's like... It's strawberry! I found it! It's strawberry! No! It's strawberry! Oh, thank God I can stop this job! Oh my God! It's the worst 2 years of my life! Oh, I can stop this job. No, the next one might be blueberry. We gotta keep going. All right? Bring in the donkey. Yeah, there's a lot. We're being lied to. You know, dryer sheets. A lot of dryer sheets are made with animal fat. It's animal fat on them, and like if you eat meat, you're like, who gives a shit? I don't care. But if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you're like, oh God, what the fuck am I covered in right now? And Snuggles is a monster. All right, that little dude comes dancing out there like, hey, I just ground up my woodland creature friends. Put their entrails on this hanky for you. You can rub it on your clothes, make them smooth. Fucking psychopath. We are lied to in so many ways in this society. It's like we're living in a Matrix type scenario, but it's just a shitty Matrix. Where like all they changed is like elevator buttons, nothing cool, you know, it's like a remedial student Matrix is what we're in. And who made the Matrix movies? The Wachowski brothers, Andy Wachowski and Wachowski. It's actually the Wachowski sisters now. It is. But I needed the joke to work, all right? I had to say brothers. It is. But yeah, big lies and small. And then there's the bigger lies. Like the idea that we still live in a democracy or a democratic republic. It's a fucking oligarchy. Or the jobs lie. The lie that every politician says we have to beat the shit out of each other to get a job that we hate. And no one talks about the fact that technology increases exponentially. We should be working far less than ever before. We should be able to pursue our passion and do what we want with our lives. And instead, we're supposed to beat the shit out of each other for a job. And every politician says, I'll bring jobs. And they always offer jobs doing horrible shit. They're always like, I'll bring jobs with this pipeline. You can help dig the grave for our society. Hey, all right, I got a job. Couldn't you have jobs doing good things? Couldn't there be a job planting trees? Like, is that so crazy? I mean, a job is anything you pay someone for. You could do horrible shit. Hey, you could have jobs giving everybody herpes if someone paid a guy to do it. But you could also have jobs doing good shit, right? I want to solve the job crisis by giving millions of people jobs. I'm talking millions, powering the country on stationary bikes. Just stationary bikes, powering the country. Everybody be trim as fuck. They'd look good, right? They'd look good. And if you hate biking, it could be any gym equipment. You know, it could be the pull down bar or the vagina spreader machine or the the shake weight. Remember the shake weight? Men have been practicing for this one for a long time, all right? We are ready to solve the energy crisis. Put us in, coach. But there you go. I just solved the job crisis, the energy crisis, the obesity epidemic, and climate change in one sentence. In one fucking sentence. In one sentence. We have the big lies in this society and the small lies. Another big lie that fucking changes the course of our country all the time is Wall Street, the stock market. The stock market is a Ponzi scheme, all right? It is. Because think about it. Initially, the stocks were you'd pay into a company, you'd own a bit of a company, and you'd get part of the profits. You'd get the dividends. That almost never happens anymore. People don't get paid with dividends. Almost all stocks and all the money in the stock market has to do with you getting some other idiot to buy the stock for more, which is the dictionary definition of a Ponzi scheme. It is. And if you're the last one holding that stock, you're just standing there with your dick in your hand, aren't you? That's how it works. Although I don't know why that expression means you're doing nothing. Like, I don't. And the other one is you're standing there with your thumb up your ass, right? So you're standing there with your thumb up your ass and your dick in your hand. That doesn't sound like nothing. Like, if you're into that, that's a big night. It's quite an evening. If you're not into that, that is a horrible night. Something has gone terribly awry. But either way, it's not nothing. No one would look in the window on that and be like, yeah, nothing going on in there. No? Nothing at all. Yeah, the big lies. Here's another one. We don't need police. We don't need police. I want to get rid of police. Well, let me clarify. I'm not a crazy person. I don't want to get rid of all police. I want to get rid of 99% of police. All right, just 99%. Because think about it. There is no reason that, like, the guys that deal with a terrorist situation are the same ones that tell you your taillight is out on the highway. That makes no sense. If we as a society decide we want people to tell you if your taillight is out on the highway, then let's have taillight observers. And their job is to tell you when your taillight's out. And they'd wear a little orange vest, and they'd have little scooters, and they'd come up, and they'd say, oh, your taillight's out, and they wouldn't have guns, because that would be bananas, all right? There's no fucking reason for them to have guns. They're just dealing with taillights. And no one would shoot the taillight observers, because that'd be bizarre. They'd be like shooting your mailman, or a dog walker, or something. No one questions the fact that, the people we call to deal with an axe murderer in our neighborhood is the same ones you call because your neighbors have the music too loud or what. Like guys with guns, trained killers show up to deal with a Bruno Mars ditty that has gotten out of hand. It's like calling a dude with napalm and a flamethrower to come deal with the light smell of ass emanating from next door. I don't know what's going on, just fucking deal with that. Like most of what cops do is stand around all day, and half the time they're dealing with people with mental illness. They're called because someone's taking a dump in a fountain or something. And half of that time they shoot the guy. We should have a mental health hotline you call, and people could show up and deal with mental health problems. They could have a little Ghostbuster mobile with a light on the top. But instead, we have maniacs with guns dealing with all of it. Could you, clear your minds and imagine a world without cops, without police force. Now, picture the guy that came up with that job. It was just like, hey, you, do you want a job? Do you need a job? All right, I have a job for you. We'll pay you well and everything. So basically, if people drive by here going too fast, 10 over the speed limit, you chase after them and you give them a ticket for going over the speed limit. And that's it. That's the whole job. Yeah. Well, also, if like someone drops a little litter on the ground or something, you go, hey, pick that up. Come on. And that's it. That's the whole job. Yeah. Well, also, if there's a homeless guy like sleeping on a bench, and then you go and you help him and you show him somewhere that he can sleep, a shelter or something. I mean, unless he talks back, and then you beat the living shit out of him and you put him in jail, and he'll never get out of there because he didn't have an ID or money or anything. And that's it. That's the whole job. Well, also, if you hear like a trouble in an apartment, like spousal abuse or something, you go in and you help. It's wonderful. You help the woman get out of that situation. You help make sure she's not getting hurt. I mean, unless either of them move too quickly and then you just fucking shoot them because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're walking into. So, yeah, you just... And if they don't have papers, you just ship them back to some country they haven't been to in 40 years. And that's it. That's the whole job. Oh, also, if there's a terrorist situation, you fucking go in there and you try and kill them before they kill you. I mean, they might kill you, but you try and get them first. And yeah, that's it. That's the whole job. But mainly the litter thing. Our police force and you know, the fact that we have so many police and have a militarized police system is why we have become the shining star of a prison state in this world. We have 5% of the world's population and 25% of the world's prisoners. We fucking lock up everybody, and it's out of control. And our police force is designed mainly to do two things. One is protect the property of the rich and perpetrate the illegal drug war that was designed from the beginning to upend communities of color and activist communities. Those were the two things. From the beginning, it was designed like that. And the drug war doesn't make any sense on its face. Like, how do you decide which drug is highly illegal and which one is just a little illegal and which one's just totally legal? And who the fuck made that decision? Like, a pharmacist is just a drug dealer in a lab coat. That's all he is. That's all he is. You know, like, yeah, some pharmaceuticals are good. I'm not denying that, but deciding one drug is highly illegal, like, one guy's crack cocaine is another guy's oxycodone. What's the fucking difference? Like, one person's marijuana is a suburban soccer mom's Ambien white wine mixer she calls mommy's happy time juice. Like, what's the fucking difference? The difference is just in our minds. And the opioid epidemic, which is killing 115 Americans a day, no one's gonna be held accountable for that. They're not stopping it. The fucking Congress is bought off. The opioid epidemic is crazy. And you gotta admit, it's a brilliant marketing scheme, though. When they first came up with, because we are one of just a very few number of countries that have direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical advertising, prescription advertising. And so back in the 90s, Big Pharma came up with this genius plan. They'll advertise. They'll ask Americans if they have something, if they have a problem that almost every American thinks they have, and then they prescribe something that's highly addictive, so you can't get off of it. It's brilliant. They just started coming on TVs in the 1990s and going, "Hey, do you have pain?" And all of America went, "Yes, I have pain. My job sucks. My husband's ass is the size of an aircraft carrier. My kids are dumb as rocks. And my dog's allergic to gluten and my cat's allergic to dogs. Yeah, I have pain. Give me those goddamn pills. Give me those goddamn pills." It's like coming on TV and going, "Hey, do you ever feel like anxiety when you're around a big number of people? Or Do you ever feel like a little bit lazy or a little bit depressed or, kind of sad? Then try meth. Illegal and legal hardly mean anything anymore. Because we live in a society, inverted totalitarianism, a society ruled by the corporate state, and the corporations and the corporate ideal of profit over all else has taken control of our court system, taken control of our laws, taken control of our legislatures. And so nowadays, what the fuck is illegal and legal hardly mean anything anymore. Think about it. Illegal for activists to turn off oil pipelines for like a couple of hours, right? They're put in jail for years for stopping the oil flow that is destroying our ability to survive on this planet, destroying our futures. That's illegal. Legal, to fucking drill those oil pipelines, destroying our futures. Illegal in a lot of states to feed and house the homeless. They're making it increasingly illegal. You can see videos online of like there's like a 90-year-old activist who was arrested for the crime of baked beans. I mean, actually, that one I agree with because, if you don't stop baked beans, it just leads to refried beans. It really does. It can snowball quickly, all right? And then it ends up resulting in cilantro and sour cream and you thought you were just gonna be a cool cop, let a few beans slide, right? Look the other way. Now you're dealing with tacos, enchiladas, burritos. Now the sauce is on your hands, all right? It's on your hands. They're arresting people for also providing tiny houses for the homeless in a lot of areas. They fucking tear them down. Here's the thing, shouldn't this be a question of freedom? Shouldn't I be free to give someone whatever the fuck I want? Give them my television, give them a couple of umbrellas, 3 nose hair trimmers, my virginity, my world-renowned scab collection. Shouldn't I be able to give them anything I fucking want? Isn't that a question of freedom? Illegal, living off the grid in a lot of areas, right? They're increasingly making it illegal. They call it, if you're off the grid for more than a couple of weeks, they call it camping. And in a lot of areas, it's illegal to camp, even on your own property, for more than 2 weeks. What the fuck? How do you even define camping? If I set up a tent in my living room, is that camping? What if I'm an alcoholic and I pass out on my lawn every night? So much so that I started leaving a pillow and jammies out there for the occasion. You call it camping, I call it a regularly scheduled blackout. Camping. Yeah, it's illegal for us to camp, but you know what's legal? For our military to camp in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and Djibouti and Germany and Cuba. They fucking love camping. They're camping in 800, 900 places around the globe. And yet that same government tells me I can't have a 40-foot plot of land and live however the fuck I want, sleeping on the grass, underwear on my head, charging my George Foreman grill by plugging it into a fecal matter power generator. What the fuck do you care? That's my life. I love how that was a tepid applause right there. Are we applauding fecal matter power generator now? I feel like the applause has gotten out of hand. I am not a fan of these. Illegal. Revealing war crimes like Chelsea Manning did. Right? John Kiriakou did. But legal. Fucking war crimes. How did that happen? It's in the name. It's in the goddamn name. War crime. Illegal to film farm animals at factory farms now to film. They're making increasingly in a lot of states. They're making it illegal. They call it ag-gag rules, right? You can't even film a farm animal being tortured. You know what's legal? Torturing farm animals. That's legal. That's fine. And here's the thing, you can, even if you eat meat, you should not be okay with the fucking horrific torture farming that goes on in this country. Just pigs stacked on top of each other, can't even turn around for their entire lives. 80 million pigs are living that way at any given time. It's horrific. And they can't let people film them, because if you film them, then we find out what it looks like. And it's a funny thing, we don't want to be involved in that anymore. So they got to keep us dumb. They got to keep us dumb. They do. Filming torture farming is crazy. Yeah, that's illegal, but you know what's legal? Filming us every goddamn second of our lives. Every storefront, lamppost, street sign has a camera on it. Can't do anything without being filmed nowadays. Can't even expose yourself to a bus full of youngsters driving by without ending up on America's Funniest Home Videos that night. You know? I didn't do it to be famous. I just did it for love of the game. It was just a hobby. I wasn't. Now I gotta sign autographs everywhere. They do. They have to keep us dumb and afraid. That's the other thing. Dumb and afraid. And in order to keep us afraid, they just keep. That's what they use other countries or other peoples for. They go. You know why you're upset? Because it's terrorists. Terrorists are gonna get you. They're gonna get you. Or Iran's gonna get you. Or Russia's gonna get you. Or North Korea's gonna get you. They gotta keep you afraid. And usually they use nations to do that, right? That's an evil nation of people. Even the babies, the Iranian babies are evil. The Russian babies are evil babies. Yeah. They use the nations, but here's the thing, corporations that are incredibly powerful, they don't give a fuck about a nation. They don't care about nations. They don't. Think about it. Apple is like headquartered in the Isle of Jersey, like because it's no taxes or whatever. They get their minerals in the phones from Africa. The phones are put together in China. What the fuck is American about Apple? Apple doesn't give a shit about America. That nation stuff is just used to scare us. That's it. And these corporations are getting more powerful than a lot of nations, right? Amazon is, it's more money goes through Amazon than like the GDP of most countries. Amazon is, and they treat workers like shit. You know, I read an undercover piece by a journalist. She went and she did it's called being a picker at Amazon. It's where they run around the warehouse grabbing all the stuff to put in the boxes. And the warehouses are 17 football fields large, all right? These are cities, basically. I don't know why we compare large size to football fields like that. Because that makes it sound fun a little bit. They should be like, it's 17 colonoscopy units large. And you'd be like, oh, that sounds awful, all right. But so she did this job running around getting all this stuff. And one of the things I remember from the article, because it was the most important part, was that every order, she was like, almost every order had a dildo in it. There was a dildo involved. Which surprised me, because how many dildos do you need throughout a lifetime, you know? Like, it's not like they slowly get whittled down over time to, you know, like a number 2 pencil or something. Oh man, I'm down to a stub. I gotta get a new dildo. There also aren't like style trends with dildos, are there? Like, no, your friends never like, oh, you still using the banana-shaped dildo? Yeah, no, we've moved on to the block. Yeah, this is the square dildo is really the thing now. Keep us dumb and afraid, but like I said, people are waking up, and I think one of the biggest things we need to do right now is fucking put our differences aside and team up to kill this monster. To kill this. Because if you think about it, like the number of people in this country that if you broaden the scope of it are opposed to this pro-corporate, pro-war, pro-profit over all else shift, right-wing shift in this country. It's like 80% of us. Like, if you really break it down that way, it's tons of us. But we can't put our differences aside long enough to work on any, like, you know, you see people online, like, I understand you're also against the police state, but you're not also a vegetarian. You're worse than Hitler! Like, we gotta team up a little bit here. I mean, think about all the groups that are opposed to this shift in this country, to this corporate decimation of everything. All right, let's go through them. You got immigrants, of course. They're gonna be in this team, right? Because their lives are being destroyed constantly. It gets worse and worse. They got ICE agents tromping through their living rooms every day. Dudes with, you know, IQs lower than the caliber of their gun, walking through your good old boys, just being like, "You don't speak the language no good." And the immigrants are like, "What did he say? I don't know. I don't know. Just smile and nod, all right?" All right, so immigrants are on this team. The LGBT community should be on this team. Because, yeah, you got gay marriage now, but if the only right that your country will give you is the right to lock each other down in some sort of federal contract, that's a shitty right. I am happy for them now because the best thing about gay marriage is now they get gay divorce, which is very important, you know? Because until now, they didn't get a receipt saying, "Hey, we don't have to do this anymore." There was no piece of paper. They could say, "Look." Really, your government, because it should be about equality. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to ask your government for permission for your love choices. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes as much sense as asking your landlord for permission on your porn choices. Like, "Dear Ogden Management, I'd like some permission on this foot fetish porn I'm about to watch. Please do it quickly because I'm already lubed up and ready to go. I got my dick in my hand and my thumb up my ass." It actually makes more sense to ask your landlord because maybe he's had noise complaints, all right, about the foot fetish noises coming from your apartment. All right, so they're on the team. Environmentalists should be on this team, right? If you ever want to see another green thing on a sandwich that isn't laminated in Monsanto's chemical piss, then you better get angry soon. I mean, I don't care because the only green thing I intake all year long is liquor on St. Patty's Day, so I'm not really worried about it. We have, like, I think a lot of people don't understand the level, the level of systemic racism. There was a study done, and if you just send in a form, a job applicant form, and it doesn't say your race, there's no photo of you, nothing, exact same form, but one of them has a black-sounding name, you're 50% less likely to get the first interview. The first interview! Like, that's how bad this shit is, how much harder life is. And granted, that has an easy answer. You just fucking lie on the form. On the first form, just flood the job market with Dustins and Taylors and Chads. You know, just flood. And then when you show up, you can impress them. You know? And it'd be like, "Oh, I thought you meant what my friends call me." You know, they do call me Whitey McWhiteface Esquire. I don't know. Weirdest thing. Just a nickname that stuck. All right, so they're in this group. If this goes for a lot of libertarians, if you're into personal freedom or privacy, you should want to be part of this, right? We live in the largest surveillance state in the world. Whatever happened to, like, needing a warrant to unreasonable search and seizure? Didn't that used to be a thing? Wasn't there a time when that was a thing? Like, If they didn't want us to know that we had that right, they shouldn't have had to show me a warrant scene in every goddamn crime drama for the past 50 years. Like, I just want to sit Congress down and make them watch 27 seasons of Law and Order SVU. Just Ice-T and Belzer are gonna school you to some shit. Just Clockwork Orange, their eyes open. Watch it! Watch it! Yeah, when was the last time someone said, show me a warrant? Doesn't even exist anymore. Anyway, I don't have time to go through all the groups, but it's a fuck if you're anti-war, right? If you're into election integrity, you should be on this team. If you're women, that's a small one. Women, you know, I think small group there, right? If you're into science, how about that? If you're into science, if you like. Because soon the right wing's going to do away with gravity, and then we're all going to start floating. Children should be in this group because we're destroying their futures. We're fucking up their futures, and they should be in our team even though they're fucking annoying. But sometimes you need annoying people because you can like catapult them at the other side. Deal with this, assholes. And to sum things up here, I just think we have to shift the debate. We have to don't debate inside the little goddamn window that your corporate media wants you to argue. Because really, you turn it on and they'll have two people very angry at each other, and one's on this side of the little box and one's on this side, and they're furious at each other. And nobody on those airwaves is ever allowed to say, what's over here? What's over here? The amount of social engineering it took to make sure that we would never ask these questions is immense. And it's gone on our entire lives. And you have to shift the debate. You do. When you have these arguments, don't argue about whether we're killing too many civilians with our bombing. Argue about whether there should be war at all. All right? Whether one civilian is too many. Don't debate about whether there's too much corporate spending on political campaigns. Argue about whether there should be corporations at all right? Why do they even exist? Argue about whether there should be political spending at all. Don't argue about whether someone should go to jail for life for their third drug charge. Argue about whether there should be drug charges, all right? Whether there should be life sentences at all. Portugal decriminalized all their drugs and they have the lowest overdoses in the world. Don't argue about whether our education system creates too many dumb kids. Argue about whether there should be dumb kids at all, or whether we should send them off into the woods to create a moron Lord of the Flies. It'd be a utopia. It would. Hey, without our social engineering, we may want to join them, all right? So. Don't argue about whether too many immigrants are coming across the border. Argue about what are borders? What the fuck are borders? Who came up with the goddamn border? Who? Like philosophically, we know that in our heads, if you go down to most borders of most countries, what is it? It's like a field. It's a couple of bushes, maybe a turtle, all right? It's in our minds. We came up with it. It's in our mind, but the turtle doesn't care, right? Because he's like, yeah, I don't buy that shit. I just go back and forth all day long. So you see what I'm saying? We have illegal deer in this country, all right? They come here, they don't speak the language, they're grabbing up all the good grazing jobs and the good pooping on your lawn jobs. They are. Well, how did we get to the point that we got to the top of the food chain and we gave them more rights? The animals have more. We took our rights away. We did. Animals can do anything. They run around. They'll go on your property. They walk around naked all day. You would think when we got to the top of the food chain, we'd be like, hey, from here on out, only we can walk around naked, okay? Everybody else has to cover up your penises and vagina, okay? They have all the right. They can fuck in the streets. I would vote for a raccoon in a second if he just offer to give us all his rights. Hashtag I'm with Raccoon. I would. I guess what I'm saying is reimagine this. Reimagine outside of your social engineering. Start asking questions that aren't allowed on your mainstream corporate media. Because we can have a revolution of the mind and change the way this world works. And recently I was back home in Richmond, Virginia, seeing my family, and I realized if you picture Monument Avenue the other way, it's Arthur Ashe with a tennis racket chasing all the Confederate generals out of the city. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming out, Los Angeles.